Hey, everybody. Today we're talking about ROI. I'm sure you've heard of this many times before. It stands for Return on Investment. I'm going to explain to you why that's so important and a different way to look at this, as well as how you can track this. So stick around.
You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss Jakubovic.
So your ROI is really important because it allows you to see if you are investing in things that bring back a return. That's what it stands for, return on investment. So you want to know if one investment is valuable to your company over another, and you want to be able to determine, should I invest my money here or not? And I'm not just talking about investing money in like stocks or things like that, but actually putting your money into business processes, systems, team members, maybe marketing, running ads, and seeing if it's actually bringing you something back so that you're not losing money. Now, it's not always about money, so I want to keep that in mind. For example, when you purchase an online course so that you can create a skill set for yourself, you might not bring money in because you're learning that skill set. But eventually, if you use that skill set, it could bring money in because you can charge for that skill set, or you can train someone with that skill set, or you can put that skill set to practice, which will then, make your business run more smoothly, which then means there are less gaps, and eventually it does come to money. But return on your investment is not the only decision that you need to think about when it comes to investing. However, a lot of people do go there. So your ROI is calculated by how much value that investment is. So for example, if you wanted to ask someone to invest in your business, like an angel investor, they would want to know what the potential ROI is of that investment before they commit to putting money towards your business. So you've got to be able to calculate how much money you make to tell that angel investor that you're going to give me, let's say $100,000. I'm going to put it to this use, and this use. And that's going to bring you back this amount of money. You can think of this as in the TV show Shark Tank, where the entrepreneurs go into the Shark Tank, they speak to all the sharks, the investors, and they say, this is how much my business is making, this is what we're going to do with your money, and this is how much money you're going to get back. So that's really important. But it could also be if you wanted to run Facebook ads. So let's say you're putting $10,000 monthly ad spend budget into Facebook ads, and you want to get back $25,000, or to make it easier, $30,000. So the math is easy. That's a 1-to-3 ratio of your ROI. We know if we put $1 in, we're going to get $3 back. Now, sometimes, especially with Facebook ads, you can't predict the ROI, or the ROI isn't going to be the amount that you think it will be if the amount you're putting in is lower. So for example, I said if you put $10,000 in, you'll get $30,000 back, and that might be true. But if you put $1 of ad spend budget into Facebook, you're not getting $3 back because $1 isn't stretched out enough to be able to test all the variables and to collect enough data and to have enough people go through the funnel. So we're talking about that ROI ratio, 1-to-3, but it's not like an ATM. I put $1 in, I get $3 back. Now, a lot of times, people don't want to invest in online courses or programs or hiring a coach unless they know there's going to be an ROI. Now, unfortunately, that isn't a way to determine if your coach is good or not, or if that program is good or not, because there's so many different factors aside from money that go into calculating your ROI. So although ROI is really important, it's not the end-all be-all decision that should be made when considering an investment. When it comes to running a business that is actually profitable, many entrepreneurs find themselves making costly mistakes and leave thousands of dollars on the table each month. Join my Get Client Sales Sprint right now. In this interactive sales sprint, I'll challenge you daily for 3 weeks with actions that get you closer to your next client and guide you through all the steps you need to follow in order to have a business that actually grows your bank account. If you aren't profitable, you have an expensive hobby, and it's time to change that now. Time to pay yourself the big bucks, my dear. Get yourself into the Get Clients Sales Sprint today at getclientssalesprint.com. See you there. So one of the challenges of your ROI is that you can't really predict the future. You don't know what will happen. And this really plays a part in, a good example is a stock market investment. If you're going to put money into stocks or into cryptocurrency, we don't know what's going to happen. There might be projections that we think will happen based off of data, but there is no omniscience. You're not going to know everything just because you think you know everything, and we don't know the future, and we can't predict the future. So ROI is a good sense of collecting data and making good decisions based on the data, but it's not an end-all be-all, and that is one of the challenges, because if you're making decisions based off of end-all be-all things, you might be missing out on really amazing opportunities. Now, when it comes to coaching in particular, the problem here is that a coach can teach you everything you need to know. A coach can give you all the systems that you need to have, but that doesn't mean that it's going to bring you an ROI, because someone, person A, might do better than someone else, person B. Person A and person B might take that information and do very different things with it. One might follow it to a T and have a really good way of connecting with their audience and providing lots of value and building wonderful relationships. And the other person might think they're doing that, but they're actually not doing that. They're coming off a different way. Maybe the energy around them isn't that great. Maybe they have a pushiness to them, and so they don't have that great results. Now, that means that the coach provided you with everything, but that doesn't mean that the coach can give you the ROI. That really has to come from you. You putting in the work, you testing the waters, you trying new things, you doing the trial and error of things and tweaking things along the way, because not everything is going to be amazing the first time through. That's why entrepreneurship is hard, and it feels like mountains and valleys all the time, the ups and the downs, because we're trying new things until something works. And a lot of times the strategy there does work, but you have to implement it, and you have to test things based on the data that you get and implement it again and test new things and change things. And it's a process. And when you have a process, you have to have patience. And a lot of times people don't have patience. They see the process, they implement, and they go, it didn't work. This has shitty ROI. And therefore this person, and then they want to point the blame at everything else. This person, this client, this coach, those Facebook ads, the algorithm, maybe it's Mercury retrograde. They're coming out of nowhere to blame everything instead of looking at themselves and saying, I am responsible for my own ROI. So while ROI is really important, it really shouldn't be the main decision maker in deciding if you're going to invest in something or not. So when I think of ROI, I think of, instead of return on investment, I think of it as it needs to be relevant, original, and impactful. And if you can do that, you're going to turn an ROI. You're going to have a return on your investment. So everything you do, the conversations that you have, the content that you put out, what you're teaching, what you're showing people, how you're helping them, the transformation you're providing them with, all has to be relevant to what your audience wants. It needs to be original. It can't be like everybody else's. You want to stand out and be different, and it needs to be impactful. You need to make an impact. So if you are relevant, original, and impactful, you will churn an ROI. Basically, this comes down to leading with service. If you lead with service, the money will follow. If you are giving them what they want in exactly the right time that they need it, and it's different and it's unique and it has your spin on it, and it creates a sense of, I want to change, I want to create this transformation, and I want to create a result, you will have a return on your investment. The time and energy that you put in there, the money that you put into creating it, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the stress, the effort, all of that is your return on your investment. Now, all that to say, yes, ROI needs to be relevant, original, and impactful. However, data does matter, and it tells a story, and it plays an important part in the decisions that you make. So while using an ROI allows you to track and analyze and come up with what projects you want to do next and discover which financial things you're putting your money in that are going to be good for your business in the next quarter or not. That's important. You do need to track the data so that you have that information, but you also need to use your intuition. You need to know what feels good. If you're feeling stuck in something and you are following an influencer or a coach or a strategist who can solve your problem and it feels good that you're connected to this person and they get you and they understand you and they've been consistent for a long time, then that might be the intuition that you feel in your gut that you want to take that next step with them. So ROI is really important, and it helps you learn from your past, because when you're done, you can say, how did that work out for me? But I like to talk a lot about feminine and masculine energy. ROI, return on your investment, is masculine energy. ROI, using your intuition, relevant, original, and impactful data and energy, that's your feminine energy. And I believe that as a strong business owner, you need to have a balance in both. So I hope this gives you a little bit of a different perspective on ROI and how to use it in your business. And I want you to use it next time and see if it helps you. Now, if you're struggling to get clients, I want to invite you to my Get Clients Sales Sprint. You're going to spend 21 days with me where I'm going to give you little baby action steps every single day to get your first or next few clients in the door. Go to getclientsalesprint.com and register your spot, and we'll get started right away. Hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Oh, wait, before you go, I've got a super special invitation for you, so listen up. Join thousands of spiritual women, entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and business owners in a cozy community to learn effective and aligned strategies to grow and scale your business through organic marketing and so much more. And for a limited time, when you join my free community, you will also get a free copy of my book, Abundance of Aligned Clients and Consistent Income. Join the Spiritual Women Entrepreneurs community at spiritualwomenentrepreneurs.com to claim all your free gifts. See you on the inside.